All right, that's not that 22, this 22. Okay, and if you weren't here, I think everybody was here, and you don't have a study guide though, it's in the folder in the back. All right, what is the property? So if A and B are congruent, and B and C are congruent, then A and C are congruent. What's that one?
C. It's A.
It's A. It's transitive. I think that was like 2 questions before that too. There was one that was talking about transitive property. So it was just repeated. All right, number 23. And notice this one, you have to fill in the blank. Okay, well, this is kind of like getting you ready for a proof. So it's fill in the blank. What's the first thing they wrote? How do you start your proofs off? With what is given. And look, if you'll see, where in the world did that come from? It came from right there. What's given to you? So you would write given. So you can tell that's just rewritten. Okay? Then the next thing, what did they do? Where did my X go?
They subtracted it
Or-
out.
They substituted it in. They plugged it in, right? So that's called what? Substitution. Okay, that's what happened. You have to just look at the previous step. What happened? We plugged in X. Now, what happened from B to C? What went away? You added what? They added 60. Does everybody see that? So you're going to tell them, okay, that's addition property. I don't mind abbreviations as long as I can tell what they are. Okay, be careful with substitution and subtraction if you're going to abbreviate. All right, then what did they do from here to here, from C to D? They divided by 6, right? I mean by -6. They divided, see, if you were to write that. And what property is that? Division property. Division. That's a D. Okay. And then I have no idea.
They flipped it.
I don't know why they did that. That's basically symmetric property.
Is it true?
Symmetric property is just if you write A equals 3 or 3 equals A, it's the same thing. Remember when you just flip it around?
So do we
It's
just have that
symmetric
one
property.
test?
I don't know.
last
I'll go over. I don't know. It could be. I don't know why they did that. I might not retake off for this one.
Proof? It's at the top.
Symmetric property. I don't.
It's supposed to metric.
It's SYMMETRIC.
Yeah, it's supposed to
Symmetric property. Yeah, that's what they wrote. Symmetric property. Why they do that? I think they just did it to see if you knew what property it was. Because we don't ever write it backwards like that. So we'll see if that one's on there. I don't even know right now. Okay, we'll look at that later. Can I erase that? Is everybody good? All right, the next one, 24. All right, what's the value of X? So this one, there's no proof or anything. These are vertical angles. So what do we know about vertical angles? They are equal. Thank you. So 2X plus 24 equals what?
144.
144. Then how do you solve? Now we're back in algebra 1. Subtract 24. Are y'all getting hot in here?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, I'll
Do
turn
we
the
have to
arrow
do
on.
all those steps? Can we just do 144 minus 24?
Huh? Do you have to, what?
We have to do all those steps. Can we just do 144 minus 24?
I mean, you don't have to do all those, as long as you know what you're doing. I mean, the problem with not writing steps is not knowing what in the world you just did. And
Oh, no.
so what is 144 minus 24?
120.
120. Are you saying don't write this part, Tyler?
I just did, well, don't write any of it. Just do 144 minus 24.
You would know to do that? Like without writing it?
No, you wouldn't.
I mean, no, I'm not, I mean, I just don't want you to make a mistake
Yeah.
because you didn't want to write it. So I just want y'all to be careful. But if you're really good at it,
I used to do that. I get lost.
what, if you didn't write it? I know, that's the only thing that scares me. Or if you're looking back to see, wait, why didn't I get an answer? You didn't write anything down to see where you might have messed up. That's the only bad thing about not writing it, that part. Okay, then what do? Divide by 2. I'm about to turn the air back on, y'all, I promise. And what do we get? 60. Okay? How was that one? Not bad? I hope not bad. That's really more algebra 1. Okay, can I erase it? It's D, it's 60. 120 divided by 2 was 60. Can I erase? Yeah? Okay, on the next one, y'all, I'm just going to write what they tell me. They said angle 2 is 30 degrees. What's the measure of angle 4, y'all?
30 degrees.
How'd y'all know that?
Because it's
Vertical angles are the same. They're equal, okay? They're vertical angles. So you could just write it like that. Does that seem okay? Yeah?
That's all you have
It's-
to put is 30 and 30.
Yeah, all you have to do is put 30 degrees for your answer. I was just showing you angle 2 is 30. What's angle 4? 30. Does anybody know what angle 1 would be? One what? It is obtuse. What'd you say? It's 150. How did she get 150?
180 minus 30.
Yeah, she knew these two angles are a linear pair. It's not going to ask that. I was just throwing that out there. Okay?
I know right before.
All right. And y'all, please remember to start getting your compass. And if you haven't gotten that, and I'll try to get our canvases soon as well. Or you could get some flat canvases. Don't get them tiny because that's really little circles. Don't get it really big because then that's more work for you to do. Just get like an average size, like 12 by 12. I don't know. Usually y'all have to get them. If I go, I might can pick a few up, but y'all can buy them from me. I mean, if I buy a pack of like 5, I'm sure they're not like, what, $2 a piece or something? So I'm just not going to buy everybody's canvas. And they might even be cheaper than that if I can get them on sale. Or if y'all go to Hobby Lobby, you could probably buy a pack and sell them. Not to make money off of it, though. Y'all don't need to be selling canvases. Okay, is the following conditional true or false? If it's true, explain why. If it's false, give a counterexample. If it is snowing in Dallas, Texas, then it is snowing in the United States. True. Yes, it is true. Because Dallas, Texas is in the United States. That's all it is. It is true because Dallas, Texas is in the United
I
States.
just put Texas. Is that okay?
Yeah, Texas is in the United States. That's right. Okay. A plumber knows, or do y'all need to write that? I'll let y'all write that.
We already had this one.
I already went over it?
No, we had it.
Oh yeah, a lot of times they'll repeat. A plumber knows that if you shut off the water at the main valve, it is safe to remove the sink faucet. The plumber turns the main valve off into the off position. What can you conclude?
It's safe to remove the sink.
It is safe to remove the sink faucet. This is that law of detachment, and you didn't even know you were using that, probably. These two things match. Shut off the water at the main valve. Shut off the water at the main valve. So what do we know? It's safe to remove the sink faucet. So what do we know here? Safe to remove the sink faucet. You can make that conclusion. Okay. Number 28. I think we've had this one earlier on this paper. This is like the second one of these. Write the converse of the statement. Remember, the converse is when you just flip it around. So if tomorrow on your test, I'm not going to tell you. Like, you can't come ask me what the converse is. I won't tell you. You have to know. So the converse would say, if x squared equals 16, then x equals 4. And is that true?
No.
It is false because that's not the only answer. And a counterexample would be x could equal what number? Negative 4. Oh, and that's it. This one wants a counterexample. So you're going to say false, x equals negative 4 is an answer. That's a counterexample. Because what's negative 4 squared? 16. Okay, let's see. 29, hold on. Let me erase that so we can see it good. All right, it says use the law of detachment if we can. So, law of detachment means that the hypothesis must be the same. Okay? So, if two lines intersect, then they are not parallel. AB and CD, it's supposed to say intersect. Does it say that? So it's not possible. So they had to match, and it doesn't. It has to say the same thing. Well, it said the opposite. That's not okay. Not possible. On that one. Oh, not possible because the hypothesis don't match, or they don't say the same thing. What do they put? They put, you must know the hypothesis isn't true, or whatever is what it says. Yeah, to me it just makes sense to say the hypothesis doesn't match. Cannot make a conclusion. Okay, number 30. This one, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of writing. It wants the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive, and then the truth value. Okay? We'll get to that one once we get there. Let's go ahead and do the converse. One step at a time. So I'm going to title that A, B, and C. Okay, so for A, what's my converse? The converse is when you flip it. So if the figure is a parallelogram, then what? It is a rectangle. Is that true or false?
True.
Oh, no.
It's a parallelogram.
Parallelogram has, it's like a four-sided figure with two sets of the opposite sides are parallel.
It could be a square.
A square is,
I thought it was kind of like a rectangle. I meant
It-
not like a.
but it could be a rhombus, right?
So that's false.
So it is when it's false. A rhombus, we'll learn later.
It's a four-sided figure.
Well, yeah. We'll learn. We have an entire chapter on quadrilaterals, four-sided figures, kites, rhombuses, trapezoids, rectangles, squares. Okay, that is the converse. Now let's go back to our original statement and write the inverse. Do y'all know what the inverse was?
Not.
Yeah, you just put the word not. Same statement. I'm just gonna put not. So what would I put?
If figure is not a parallelogram,
Or-
then it is not a rectangle.
That's a contrapositive.
If a figure
If a
is
figure
not
is not a
then it is
rectangle,
not.
so you go back and make it the same. So if a figure, yeah, what you did was a contrapositive. If a figure is not a rectangle, then it is not a parallelogram.
Then we should have inverse, then converse,
A parallelogram. Okay, and then we gotta say if it's true or false. So you can write that. If it's not a rectangle, then it's not a parallelogram.
Well, no, because you can have other.
Because I mean, it could be, it could be a different one that is a parallelogram. It's not a rectangle, but it could still be a parallelogram. So that one you were right is false.
Wait, why is that one false?
Because I could have another shape that's a parallelogram, but not a rectangle. Like they say, probably. Do they give one? That says. Oh, here it is. They just say if a figure is not a rectangle, then it is not a parallelogram. The inverse is false. A parallelogram, I don't know. They really don't give an example of one. The converse, they said was false. We did that one. Now we do the contrapositive. But anyway, on this one, we were just saying it might not be a rectangle, but it could still be a parallelogram, y'all. There's other shapes. So that's why that's false. All right, then the last thing is the contrapositive. And that's what Haley was saying. You switch them and you do both of these things together. You switch them and put the word not. So if the figure is not a parallelogram, is not a parallelogram, I know this handwriting is terrible, then it is not a rectangle. Okay, is that one true or false? If it's not a parallelogram,
True.
yeah, that one's true. It can't be a rectangle. I mean, because a rectangle is a parallelogram. So that one is true.
So how many points is that one question?
Several.
I think it's 1, 2, 3.
I'll tell you in a little bit. I'll just do.
Because you do your A.
Oh, and
C,
true
your
and
true
false.
false.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the last one true or false?
True. Because if it's not a parallelogram, then it can't be a rectangle. Okay. Can I erase? Or not?
You can.
I can. Everybody stop that. And it's also on the video. Okay. The next one. I'm glad that one's over. It's a lot of writing. Okay, complete the paragraph proof. So, let me put that up. It says we're given angles 1 and 2 are supplementary and 2 and 3 are supplementary. All right, so it says by the definition of supplementary angles, normally it starts with given. I don't know why they didn't here. But what is the definition of supplementary angles?
180.
They add to 180, right? Supplementary. So this says by that definition of supplementary angles, angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. And the other part, these were also supplementary. Angle 2 and angle 3 would equal what? 180. Is everybody good with that part? It's the same. Do y'all notice it's the same proofs over and over and over again? Tanner does not notice that. That's okay. All right. Now, they're saying, okay, if this equals 180 and this equals 180, then we can set these two up equal to each other. Remember, there were two possibilities. I don't know if they put both of them on here. But what did y'all want to put? Oh, yeah, they put both of them. Transitive, or what was the other one? The one that I used was substitution. But transitive property says if this equals 180 and that equals 180, then those two things can actually be set up equal to each other. So I'll put transitive.
I put transitive.
Transitive property. Again, you could have put substitution. I actually probably would have put substitution. Now we can subtract angle 2 from each side, and we get measure of angle 1 equals what?
Measurement of angle 3.
Measurement of angle 3. Look, if you took away angle 2 from each side, what does it say? Angle 1 would be equal to angle 3. Or angle 1 is congruent to, what are we trying to prove? Equal 3. Yeah, that says the same thing.
Wait, what's
The
the last two?
last two.
Measurement of angle.
What was the first positive?
You switch them and you make it negative or not. It says if a figure is not a parallelogram, then it is not a rectangle.
That's true.
And that one was true. Okay. So is that's not all of them, is it?
We got 3 left.
I was thinking we had some left. Okay, let's keep going. I like all these fill in the blank ones.
Tyler, if you lean back one more time, Stephanie.
I used to not, but I do now. But I do. I took college geometry and all we did was proofs, but it really helped to understand it better. Okay. The first part. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Angle 1 is equal to 130. Where did they get that from?
Given.
It was given to us right here. That's where they pulled that out. Okay, given. So that would be what I would write first. So how is the measure of angle 2 equal to 130?
Is that transitive?
If angle 1 is equal to 130.
So angle 1 and
Oh,
2 are
that's
congruent. Angle 1 is equal to 130. I think I put substitution. Let me see if they put transitive or substitution. They put
Oh, 1 and 2 are congruent.
substitution. Yeah, that's what that says. Angles 1 and angle 2 are congruent.
How is it substitute?
Because instead of writing angle, the measure of angle 1 equals 130, they substituted the measure of angle 2 in. But I probably would take either one. But that's why I would lean more with substitution. Okay. The measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 3.
Because they're vertical.
Very good. Look at your picture. No, not adjacent, because they're vertical. Angle 2, why is angle 2 equal to angle 3? Look up here. They're vertical angles.
So what if the
Vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. That's how we know that. So why would angle 3 equal 130?
Because it's congruent to angle
So you could say substitution, or you could probably say transitive, and they say on this one, I'm betting they say substitution as well. What is this number?
2.
They put substitution again. But if you put transitive property, that's fine too. I can kind of see that.
Transitive property where you just switch it.
Well,
You
transitive property is really when you have three statements where you kind of like are mixed matching. And I can kind of see that here. If the measure of angle 2 equals 130, the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 3, then the measure of angle 3 equals 130. I can so see transitive property in that one. But again, I can also see where they would just say, instead of writing the measure of angle 2 equals 130, they just substituted in measure of angle 3. I would take either one on that, substitution or transitive. Is everybody good with that? Yes? Okay. All right, number 33. This one we're just explaining. Oops, I need to erase that. What's the value of x? Justify each step. So what in the world is this talking about right here? Where do they get AB plus BC equals AC? Those are line segments. What would we call that? It's not angle addition. It would be
Line addition.
segment addition. Or let me see what they say. They say segment addition. So see, if I take this line segment and I add, I'm not pulling out random words. I'm just saying if I take this line segment and this line segment and I add them together, I don't make this up as I go. Every year people think I do, but
Did you
don't.
say segment?
It's segment addition.
Wait, I'm confused.
Okay?
There's too many. Can we not have these?
No, we definitely, this is the whole point of geometry. Like we are just now, we have proofs every test, every test.
But we haven't used this
Sherman
one
has
before.
every public school in Louisiana.
It's because this is where all the kids that go to our youth are in those schools. Isn't it cute?
Yes, it is.
And I'm like, I can wear that. I can get away with that because it has a rebel man on the back of it.
This is wrong.
Wait, sorry.
Oh, I see it. It's for undersecondaries.
It says.
Anyway, I love geometry, so I'm not even in the game. Or like, I don't help with you to help with little kids. So I was like, I want that extra. Like, I think I can wear that tomorrow. Okay, sorry, y'all. That's all on video. Okay, so.
Yeah, but have an extra X equals.
Question on the segment addition. Do y'all remember angle addition? Where it says you can take this angle and you can add them together and it's the whole angle. This is the same thing. Ooh. But these aren't angles. What are these? Segments. They're lines. So that's why we call it segment addition. We'll see if it's on there. I don't even know if this one's on there. Okay, then what do they do next? Instead of writing AB, what did they write? 2x. So they substituted it in. Substitution. Okay? So.
Wait, can we go back to that segment word?
Uh-huh.
I'm confused.
So, do you understand the angle addition postulate?
What?
Okay, do you understand? I'm sorry. It is a postulate. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to scare y'all. Okay, did you understand angle addition? Like if you're adding angles together, you can add angles together and it would be the big angle. This is the same thing, but these are not angles. What is the word for that? A segment. That's why we couldn't call it angle addition. That's not an angle. It is segment addition. Y'all, if you got on that test tomorrow and all you could think of was angle addition, you could come up here, because I don't want to help you much, and you could be like, I know this is not an angle. What do you call this? Then I would tell you, that's a segment. And you would know segment addition, okay? If you needed that. I'm betting you'll remember. So anyway, yes, we substitute in, and then right here, I combine like terms. I'm fine if you put combine like terms. They're gonna put, and I would probably put combine like terms. They're gonna put simplify. Okay? That's probably better than what I would do. Then what do?
Then
What do we do from here to here?
Subtract 8.
We subtract 8. So it's subtraction property. So I'm gonna put subtraction property. I wrote that one out
And then
so it didn't get confused with the substitution. And then yes, division. We divided by 8, so division property.
That's a little easier.
You need me to say something again,
I
Tanner?
don't even know what you was doing. You were
Okay.
doing 8 plus 26, and I don't know where.
Are y'all cold now? I'm like freezing.
I put the
You're always cold in here though, aren't you? Tyler?
Oh.
You normally are cold.
One on the bus that wasn't on.
Oh, so y'all
I was dying this morning.
It's cold in here. I know y'all are good. Okay, we still have some left. We're getting there. All right. Oh, 34. This is our last one?
Yes.
Do y'all have this one on yours?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't. Whoa. Yep, this is it. All right, 34. Y'all, we already did this one on the other side. It didn't say complementary. What did it say?
Supplementary.
Supplementary. And it doesn't tell you if you have to use a paragraph proof or whatever. You can always just pick. Even if it said write a paragraph proof, y'all, I'm okay with picking your own kind of proof.
paragraph.
Yeah, I don't like paragraph proof. I like statements and reasons. This is the kind of proof that I like. Statement and reason. Okay, so what do I write first? You're given, that's right. Angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary. Angle 2 and angle 3, complementary, given. What does that mean? What is the definition? I'm gonna write that. What is the definition of complementary?
Yes.
What'd you say? I just, statement and reason, and I wrote 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 are complementary. I was kind of lazy with it. It's okay.
What do you mean, depth of color?
Okay, what is the definition of complementary angles?
They equal 90.
They add to 90. They add to 90. So what would I write next? I would write angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is 90, and 2 plus 3 is 90. Complementary. Yeah, I could write it all out, but since I know they were talking about complementary, I just kind of abbreviate.
Given and.
So both of those go with the definition of complementary. They add to 90. Then what can I write? It's just like the other problem.
So.
I can do substitution or transitive property. Okay, I'm going to put substitution. And I'm going to say, instead of saying this equals 90 and this equals 90, what do we know about these two things? They're equal. If they both equal 90, then they're the same. So I'm going to write that. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is the same thing as angle 2 plus angle 3. I just substituted it in. Or you could have put transitive property. Then what do? There's more. There's like 2 or 3 more steps. Oh my gosh. How do you simplify that?
Angle 1 equals. You take out
How
the
did
2.
you get that? Yeah, you take out the angle 2. You can subtract angle 2 from each side. So we would get, you don't have to write that step. The measure of angle 1 equals, I thought it was thundering. That's subtraction property. Yes. Why is that good?
Because we've been in a drought.
Subtraction property.
So.
So,
Yeah, right.
so what does that tell us? If the measure of those angles are equal, what do we know? They're congruent. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 3.
Wait, where did you put subtraction at?
Right here, I subtracted angle 2, and that's how we got this.
Is that all gonna be on the test?
I don't know. We're about to go over that. Y'all just wait. I will tell y'all. Huh?
If you just know if angle 1 equals to angle 2 and angle 2 is equal to angle 3, then angle 1 and 3 are equal.
But angle 1 and 2 aren't equal. Angle 1 and 2 are complementary. They add to 90. 2 and 3 add
Just
to
don't
90.
listen.
So now we're proving that 1 and 3 are equal.
Okay.
None of the others are equal. Just 1 and 3.
Is there a property for the last one? Or is that just the?
I mean, you could. I just rewrote it because in a paragraph proof they didn't explain that in the last paragraph proof. They just rewrote it, but that's just yeah. It's basically the same thing. So I'm good with that. Okay? Is everybody good with this?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
not really, but let's do it.
I mean, y'all want to find out which ones are on there?
Yes.
Okay. Can I erase this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We have
19 minutes.
Oh, okay. Fine. You were about to scare me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is almost out of time.
I know what it is.
This is fun.
What's fun?
I like it. I like these. They're a little challenge. They're a little challenging. What's wrong with a good challenge?
I'm already mentally challenged. I'm trying to say more.
Oh my, where did my, oh, there they are. Okay, y'all, give me just a second.
Oh, what are you doing? Yeah. 20 minus 4 is 7. 19. 22.
All right, are we ready?
Okay, so what is the difference?
It looks like, hold on. Goodness gracious. It looks like number 1 is on there.
Okay.
Or not, I mean, not the exact same thing. One like it, okay? So, it looks like one like number 3. No, I'm not. I've already made it. It looks like there's one like number 4, but it's short answer, not multiple choice. Okay? 1 and 3 are multiple choice. Number 4, but it's like short answer. Let me see what. It looks like one like number 5.
5.
Number number 5. I'll say if it's different. Number 6. Okay, and it's just like number 6, like it's short answer. Looks like number 8. And it's not multiple choice either, though. Just like that. I am. Is that okay? Or y'all no? Stop recording.
It's not
What?
okay.
Is that just too long of a video? It's boring.
Number 4, number 8 is the same as the test, right?
Mhm.